Mughalai chicken is hands down my most favorite chicken recipe. And contrary to what a lot of people believe, it takes surprisingly less time to make with very few ingredients. Goes very well with breads and jeera rice. It's a heavy, cream heavy dish, and the winter is an ideal time to actually enjoy this. I've taken 1 kg of bone in chicken. It's better to take it with bone simply because it'll be more juicy and less chance of it getting overcooked. 6 large onions that I have chopped finely. 4 to 5 slit green chilies, about 8 to 10 cloves of garlic, and some ginger. 10 to 12 cashews that I have soaked in warm water. We will use this later to blend with the onions. Whole garam masalas, for which I have taken bay leaf, cinnamon, star anise, black pepper, cloves, green and black cardamoms. In addition, of course, we will need salt and our dry masalas, and about 4 tablespoons of cream that we'll put right at the end once our meal is prepared. The very first thing we will do is marinate our chicken. So I'm going to be putting some turmeric powder into this, some chili powder, salt, and just a little bit of oil, about 1 tablespoon of oil at this point. That's it. We will just mix this all up nicely and let it sit while we prepare our onion paste. Okay, first things first, we'll take a pan and add about 2 tablespoons of ghee in this. And once it's sufficiently hot, we will add our chopped onions into this. Sprinkle some salt into this, and we'll cook it on high heat for about a minute, and then we'll lower the flame and let it brown. The whole process should take about 15 minutes or so. So about a minute of cooking this on high flame, we will lower the heat to absolutely the minimum and cover it. And we will just keep stirring it occasionally every few minutes to make sure the onion doesn't burn. We have to keep cooking this till the time the onion is softer and is about brownish. That will take us about 15 to 20 minutes. So after 20 minutes, our onion is browned quite well. We will turn off the heat now and let this cool completely before we blend it with the other ingredients. The onions have cooled completely, and now we will just blend it together with the green chilies, garlic, ginger, and our soaked cashew nuts. After 1 round of coarsely blending this mix, I will just add about a quarter cup of water to this and blend the entire mixture again. Okay, now we take the same pan back, and on medium heat, we will take 3 tablespoons of ghee, and 2 tablespoons of oil, and just let it heat nicely. You can make this entirely out of ghee as well. In fact, that's how it's normally done. But it tends to get a little too heavy because we're going to be adding cream also in the end. So I normally like to just mix the two together first. Once the ghee and oil have become hot, we will add all our garam masalas to this. And just let the oil kind of absorb the aromas of the garam masala for a few seconds. Couple of seconds into adding the whole garam masalas, we'll add about 3-4 teaspoons of Shah Jeera and just let it crackle nicely. Once the Shah Jeera has crackled, in goes our onion paste. I don't let any part of our paste go waste, so I've added some water into our mixie and I'm going to be putting that in this as well. And we will cook this on medium heat for about 5 minutes, stirring constantly. Five minutes later, it's time to add the salt and the dry masalas. So first the salt. Adding about half a teaspoon of turmeric. Remember, we already have some turmeric in the chicken as well. 1 tablespoon of red chili powder. You can make it more if you like it spicier. But again, our mix has green chilies that are already blended with the onion, so it will already be quite hot. Some coriander cumin powder. And here is some garam masala that I make myself. So I normally just roast all the whole garam masalas on a tawa, and then I blend it together. And this stays long, and it gives a much fresher and nicer aroma than the store-bought garam masalas do. So we mix in all the masalas at this point, and again just continue cooking it for another 5 minutes on medium heat, constantly stirring. I'm going to add some dried kasuri methi, which I have just crushed between my palms, and let it cook for a few minutes more before we add the chicken. I will be adding some more kasuri methi at the end as well. But when I cook it with the rest of the masala, then the flavor and the aroma is much stronger and actually quite nice. Our masala is now done. We will lower the heat and start adding the chicken to this. We'll just coat all of the pieces with the masala before we add in the water. Once the chicken is nicely coated with this masala, we will add some warm milk. You can add curd as well. I prefer to add milk in this. And let this cook for a few minutes before finally adding the water. And now finally some water. I have only taken half a cup over here because remember, Mughalai chicken is more like a thick gravy and it's not a curry. So we will not add too much water, but of course depending on your taste, if you'd like to make it a little thinner, then you can just add as much as you want. We will just mix this once nicely together, and we will then cover it and let it simmer for about 12 to 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, let's see how our chicken is coming along. Oof! I seriously wish you could smell this because this is just absolutely divine. So we're almost done. I'm going to turn off the heat first, and we will add some cream to this. And just stir it up, stir it nicely and let it sit for some time. We will be adding some more cream later on when we're ready to plate it. But right now, let this just sit for some time covered. You don't have to cook the cream. And that's it. I've taken our Mughalai chicken into our dish, and I will just finish it off with some cream. Some dried kasuri methi. Pinch of my homemade garam masala. And 1 slit chili. I'm off to make hot parathas to go with this now, and maybe a little jeera rice. The combination is divine.